So this video is on acupuncture, and I'd just like to explain a little bit about it. So I'm trying to decide like how to explain and what to label, although I don't like labels, what to say, work I do, because acupuncture is a tool of frequency. So I would say more, I'm a doctor of frequency, because an acupuncturist would take your pulse, do your tongue check from observation of sound, smell, all the elements, frequencies, sight, sound, hearing, senses. All of these things are the ways we diagnose, and then questioning. I question a lot about inner child and how we're brought up, because I then also obviously do a lot of inner child work. And I tend to do a lot less questioning now, because I can very much read the body, and when I'm with someone online, I spiritually tap in. So my work is beyond acupuncture, because I'm connected to the spiritual realm because of my awakening. So acupuncture is a tool of element medicine, frequency medicine, and to do with the elements. So it's the law of nature. The theory of ancient medicine is to do with the elements. And so I like to try and explain, hence why I did this video, that people very rarely understand. Like myself, I didn't understand until I actually did the degree a long time ago now, but that the elements and the theory of this energetic frequency medicine, we have 12 organs, 6 pairs, so 12 and 6, this number, 12 disciples, actually, I think it is now, disciples of the Lord, which is the heart and the soul. Quite biblical, as we're in biblical times. That's why I brought that up. But I've gone on a tangent to follow the heart and the soul. So we do the pulses, which are 6, 12 on this side, 6, 12 on this side. So we don't even need to speak to you, or I can just do a pulse and I can feel the frequency of all 12 organs and beyond, actually, sometimes, to do about the frequency, which is chi and life force energy, and to do about the blood flow in the body. So we've got the yin and the yang, and the chi is life force energy. Is if we find this difficult in our belief system to understand, then when you wake, we don't plug ourselves in. Okay, no, you don't need to plug yourself in. You don't see the tree going to recharge itself by plugging itself into the electricity system that we man-made forces. Okay, so the life force energy, when this is cut, we die and we return to source. So this is the force energy, chi. It's called in different sciences, different religions, different beliefs. It's just called a different thing. Pranayama energy, life force. It's called life. So this is what we are trained to feel. So. And this is the natural laws of nature. So the pattern of the elements that we see inside the body to do about wind, fire, earth, damp, stagnation, metals, vaccine metals, large intestine, emotions, all of this thing is all linked to the elements and laws of nature. Now, I'm making this video so the treatments I'm doing with people at the moment, especially since COVID, is linked to what's going on the earth plane. So the earth is having a spiritual awakening. Spiritual awakening means frequency. I've had my own spiritual awakening, and spiritual energy is dark force matter, in my opinion. Okay, dark is what we cannot see, but we can feel. There's frequencies all around us, and this is how viruses, entities will behave. We can't see until our third eye is open, but we can feel. But we can only feel once we're connected to our body. Now, the thing is that we are reacting to different waves of frequency outside of our body that's happening on Earth, and we are having to purge the low frequency of them. This comes out in detoxifying symptoms. And if we have struggled to process or struggle to react and express them. Okay, trouble to express them, breathe through it, understand beyond the physical is the emotional body and the soul body. So if we are not with anyone who understands that the physical condition needs to be expressed by an emotion, which is in the spirit, Holy Spirit, inside the physical body into the soul, there is a space of frequency, which is inside us, in my opinion, is the dark matter outside, but inside our body is frequency. So an acupuncturist can read this frequency from the organ. So you have the soul to the organ to the physical body. COVID, in my opinion, is an expression of the virus, the frequency changes that's outside the body coming from Earth. We're Halloween and Easter, and we've got 6-7 more years of this coming. And if we don't express it properly, and we just treat it on a physical level, which is 10% of the consciousness, you're not 90% of the consciousness, which is awakening. So we don't treat this properly, you will pass and you will go up to source to continue to live, because this is fact of laws of nature. It's not my truth, it's the laws of nature. My truth, this is what I've been trying to understand, how for me to express my story and my understanding of what I do. A lot of people, well, this is your truth, this is your belief. And I'm like, no, this is the medicine I use. This works. It kept me alive. In fact, I died, came back, told I wasn't to die this time. And I was to come back down and find a way to live. This was 7-8 years ago. So the medicine I use is all frequency. Acupuncture is one section of my work. All the others I use is all to do with healing frequency that is coming from your soul. Whether you believe you have one or not, you have, because you're life force energy. We are cells on the earth, and the earth realm is shifting, this consciousness shifting, but she's awoken. She had a trauma on her body and she is shifting, whether we like it or not. And if we don't shift with her, we will be gone somewhere else. There is no death of the soul. I communicate with the spirit realm and I channel energy, so you can still communicate with people that do pass on the other side. And I do believe in the future we'll be able to see in these dimensions will be returned to the souls that pass. There is no death. If we knew this, the fear would be gone. Okay. I just stop there because, yeah, this is quite a big thing because of the fear there. We were afraid that we're going to die. Not everyone, but as COVID comes through all of us, and if we haven't had it yet, we just don't have the depth of trauma. So the people who are experiencing COVID, I mean, I experienced mine a long time ago because the depth of my trauma was very deep and dark. And I'm still processing it now. And now I'm one of the people to show people how to do it. And they're the people who are not closed, not awake. Don't worry, we need them. In fact, we need layers and layers and layers, because you can't just suddenly wake up, because this is how the soul saved itself in the first place, to keep it alive. So it's done in stages, and the humanity, and we are the cells in stages doing it for the earth. So you just worry about yourself and your surroundings and your own family, and the people closest to you, because the more that you do your own healing work, the more that you can help others around you. I couldn't help people around me to a certain extent of what I'm doing now until I healed myself. So I kept it very minimal, and I isolated for a long time in the evenings, which is what people are doing now. So I've gone off a bit track, but basically I'm just trying to explain that acupuncture is one very small tool. And the needles are used to take off the pressure, all right, like a boiler system. So the boiler system is the nervous system in the body to do with all the hormones and the pineal gland. We're under pressure right now because the vaccine, again, whether you've had it or not, I'm not here to argue or have my opinion. I'm here to tell you what happens to the body when you have it. All right, and when it hits the pineal gland, it closes down. Okay, when it closes down, then you shut off from the body. So you're more detached from your soul and you have disassociation. So you have less ability to deal with the emotions and purge what's trying to come up and have detoxing. When you can detox fully, there's no long COVID. When you can detox and express with strength and power from immunity and power from here, from the gut, then you can express it quickly and fully. When you're not able to do this, then it's going to come back and it's going to come back and it's coming back, or you have left with residual disease. I've been studying this for a long, long time before COVID was even here. All right, how to treat diseases left over from issues of emotional issues that weren't able to purge, whether it's a virus or an emotional storage in the cell, it's the same thing. All right, so what you go back to is expressing a frequency of emotion, because your emotions are stored in the 12 organs of the body. And in my opinion, this is the message of the 12 disciples, following the soul and the light within. And so when we can express the truth of what's being stored now, and also in my opinion and my studies, is that the 90% of the subconscious of the brain is amnesia of the human race. We shouldn't even have this trauma. When we heal, once we, the light of this pandemic we have, when we're through on the other side of it, that we can be here on earth and we have 12, 20 more months cycle of just dealing with the emotions that we learn. So we're really not dealing with the depth of the pain that we're having to do now. This is going to be in the next 6-7 years is my estimate. Another video, I have my reasons for this. Every Halloween and every Easter, I predicted this one. Anyway, so yeah, doesn't matter, I'm going off track. But so when we get to a stage when we've all purged this depth of trauma that's actually been, the earth is trying to heal, then we will be able to have Garden of Eden, joy and life back, and the ability to deal with letting go of these emotions at a much easier level. So that's the light and the hope. Hence why I call myself Light and Hope now, because we need a little bit of that, a bit of understanding. And I needed some light and some hope in my life, which is why I studied this way beyond COVID. But now I have been told by my guides that this is why I went through my experience, because now I can share this information to give us a little bit of light and hope of why this is all going on. And also I've just discovered through my studies that this is maybe the 6th time. I know, as David Attenborough mentioned this, because if you look at the laws of nature, what's happening on earth, wind, fire, wood, elements, things like this is the same as an awakening, a breakdown on her, which is the same as what happens inside our body and vice versa, because we are made in the same light. This is the 6th round, which makes sense of the 6 elements and the 12 organs. All right, so we've done the 6th Star of David and we're coming back round, and this will be the last time that this kind of episode will happen on earth. And whoever is here on this earth realm has chosen to be here at this time. So believe it or not, you did choose to come here and be here at this time. And anyone who does pass that you know, using the grief and the sadness and the loss of that partner, family member, child, I know it's all very painful, but to you, that you can connect to them in spirit and you will see them once again. It's my belief, because I communicate to that other side and I'm not alone there. And when this eye opens, we will be able to safely see in these dimensions, but this takes time to experience this, because this is why I see and feel myself. So these people also can support from the other side. They can support you better for the people on earth, because it's quite hard work on earth right now, because we're going through a breakdown of the system, a very serious breakdown of the system. So the education system, the law system, the health system, buildings, stone, brick, the earth is going to come back into her natural form over the next few years. We need... Yeah, what I mean is whoever's passing is to use that grief is to reconnect to your own soul, because actually the trauma and the wound of grief and sadness is the loss and the abandonment of the soul itself from the earth realm. And this is why we actually come through the female uterus, which I believe when the earth is healed, we won't need to, we'll just come straight here without the womb of the human. This is another subject, because this is a theory I'm working on and what I've been told in different ways. But at the moment, what I'm saying is to use that grief and the loss to actually help enter you and your lost soul. This is what I had to do, because, okay, I didn't lose so many friends or family members to death, but I lost them as in different ways. I lost them because I had trauma and different traumas to take away. So I was very isolated and alone, which is the same feeling as grief. And this I accessed, and then it helped me access myself. So anyway, back again, off on a trail to frequency. To understand the medicine of frequency, we need, the reason I'm doing this video as well is because I feel that we need to have a new way of treating COVID. I don't want to use the word, I've used it already, but I know. But you cannot keep masking and injecting. We're going to mask and inject children when they're born soon, you know, in the next year or so. I mean, it's not sustainable. Do you know what I mean? It's not something we can continue. And there will be different strains because there's going to be different layers of trauma coming up. So to understand how to treat or look at a virus in a different way, and to look at it as a detox and a process that's coming something deeper within. Now we have to remember that the medicine that we use from the Western is not that old, you know, 100 years old. And the medicine of elements and frequency and the laws of nature have been on this earth for thousands and thousands of years. So this is why I use this medicine for myself, and different forms of frequency medicine of the earth, the laws of nature and elements, because the system in all different ways failed me, and I needed to find a way that worked. So this is coming from my heart and my soul. Sorry, I could hear something there. And I know there's people out there now having different reactions from this vaccine and different things. So this is not here to jump on, and I'm not coming out with any anger or fighting. It's about finding a way that suits. And I know if you're going to have something that has had a reaction and you're having adverse effects, then you're going to have to find different ways to treat this. And these ways heal, you know, these ways heal. And I have no fear of any virus that I will pick up, because I know how to purge from it. And I don't have any fear of death, because I am connected to the spirit world, which we can all have. So this is the reason for my video, to do about frequency medicine. So lots of love, lots of light, lots of hope. And again, message me any questions, any queries. If I can help, if I can answer, then I will. And if not, I will guide somewhere else, or how to find out the answers. There's always a way, always an answer. Lots of love. Take care. Bye-bye.